I'm Jane Lunnan with the Ashe County Arts Council in West Jefferson, and I've got another update on the arts in Ashe. In the gallery of the AsheArts Center, brand new exhibit is up that I want to share with you. It's called A Norwegian Legacy, 5 Generations of Art. This is a fabulous show. This is a bright, colorful, gallery-packed exhibit from the works of Susan Dahlin Bashford and 5 generations of her family's artwork. This legacy goes back to early days in Norway. The great-grandfather lived in Norway, and in fact, one of the earliest paintings that's contained in this exhibit, I think, is dated 1897. It's a primitive landscape that really reflects the times and the lives of the folks that were living in Norway at that time. Great-grandfather, grandfather, father, and Susan and her daughter, their work, as well as associated other aunts, uncles, cousins, are all featured in this exhibit. The neat thing about a retrospective, historically, artistically put together exhibit like this is that it really shows a continuity. It shows a line, it shows a lineage of how families are connected and how art is used to connect those families. The exhibit contains paintings. It contains some knitted work. Susan's grandmother was a very fine fiber artist, and some beautiful Scandinavian, Norwegian style knitting that you'll see in this show. There's some painted china, very fine painted porcelain work that was done by Susan's grandfather, as well as some painted ceramic vases. An incredibly large, beautiful, wall-sized wood carving that was done by her great-grandfather is also part of the exhibit. And scattered throughout the exhibit are reminders of the family's life and times in Norway, with those colors of the Norwegian flag of red and white and blue, very reminiscent of where the family ended up in the United States. Susan's work is represented in many local galleries, and a lot of folks are familiar with Susan Dahlin's work from the Raleigh area. Susan was a newscaster and broadcaster on WRAL for a number of years, and she has always painted. She, of course, grew up at the knee of her father, painting as a child, and remembrances of her grandmother and grandfather and their artistic work. And she says that, you know, she always had a paintbrush in her hand. At a certain point, she put away her paintbrush and picked up a palette knife. And that's the style of what Susan does now, is very broad strokes using that palette knife. Much of her work reflects her love of animals. The character and the charm of the faces of cows and pigs and sheep and goats, dogs, animals of all kind, are a favorite subject from Susan Dahlin. She also does larger-than-life still life. For example, the large ball mason jars that she's well known for, or canoes or bicycles. Susan captures the essence of a piece that is then turned into a work of art. This is a full exhibit. It's a bright exhibit, and it will be in the gallery of the AsheArts Center through June 7th. Gallery hours are Monday through Friday from 9 until 5-ish, and on Saturday 10 until 4-ish, and of course, as always, special hours by request. I've got a couple of quotes from Susan that I wanted to share, which I think is very telling of how a lot of artists approach their work. And these were quotes that came from her father and his words of wisdom. And he said, "Don't make that a straight line. The detail comes later. That's not a mistake. It was meant to be there. Leave it." And it's a question that I've often asked artists, you know, how do you know when a work is done? And their response is usually, you know right here when it's done. And at some point, you just leave it. Well, the work that has been left in A Norwegian Legacy, 5 generations of art, is absolutely perfect. Landscapes, portraiture work, self-portraits, still lifes, animals, a whole mix of media that you'll find in this exhibit. There's really something for everyone. We invite you to visit the AsheArts Center. It's located at 303 School Avenue in downtown West Jefferson's Arts District. You can call us at 336-846 2787. Check out all of this information on the website, ashcountyarts.org. And we'll look forward to seeing you in West Jefferson at the Ashe County Arts Council for a look at the art, a Norwegian legacy, 5 generations of art, featuring the work of Susan Dahlin and her family.